chance. But clearly, you didn't care. You don't actually care. You didn't.
Yeah, I really don't value.
You don't mean it, right? You didn't mean it.
No, I don't care. Honestly.
So you don't care. You're just going to keep violating the rules until you're removed from the space again, right?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so you didn't need that apology, that little, oh, Nathan, I'm so sorry for everything I did. You're right. I shouldn't have done it. Oh, what was me? I'm crying, Nathan, please. Oh, I needed that.
You was crying to a black man.
Duly noted. Duly noted. You didn't mean it.
I'm curious about that. Like, I didn't know that I was talking like that.
Yeah, you were. You did it in Louie's room when you caught Nathan because you couldn't come in here because you were blocked.
So did I cry or did I say I apologize? Did I cry?
Yes, you did. Oh, Nathan, by the way, Nathan, I'm so sorry about what I did. I shouldn't have done that. You're right, Nathan. Yeah, I was there, bitch.
You're fucking crazy, dude. No, you weren't.
Yes, I was.
No,
it was in
you
Louie's
weren't.
room about a week and a half ago.
You dumb whore. That's a
lie. Louie,
right,
are you there? Do you remember him apologizing to Nathan in your room, asking for forgiveness?
Yeah, so I apologize. I don't remember fucking crying like you're saying. Listen, you dumb
yeah, that's exactly what you were doing.
He was saying something like, I love you guys and I miss you guys. Let me back in. I really like you. Come on, let me back in.
That's what I'm saying. I missed this dumpster fire of you motherfucking subhumans. I missed this dumpster fire.
And why did you
never
ask
leave
Nathan
this house,
if you could come
and it's
back?
likely obese.
Why do people spend their time in here and then claim the room is so awful and like we don't have value?
Well,
I don't get that.
It's a dumpster fire. Do people like drama? Do people like dumpster fires? This is the biggest dumpster fire on the app.
Yeah, it's like a really big trend.
Melissa, why don't you just give it a rest? Hey, fat bitch, why don't you give it a rest, Melissa? Fat bitch, Melissa, give it a rest. You don't have to repeat yourself, folks. You don't have to repeat yourself, folks.
You don't
have to repeat yourself, bitch. You don't have to repeat yourself, bitch.
I won my game, so.
Horse time.
Callie, you're a fat whore.
Yeah, I'm not a whore, and I actually looked really nice for dinner tonight. Maybe I'll PTR. Maybe I'll PTR. Maybe I won't. Maybe you're down there for half an hour for the series of violations. Cry more, bit.
It's really interesting that people will hang out in here and then be like, "This place is for losers and faggots." I don't get it. I can't wrap my head around that.
I think that some people think we're cool and that they wanna belong, but they don't. And that's sad for them, I guess. But no? Wait.
He got put out again. No, he's in the audience, but he's a bitch, so he left.
Yeah. He's an unstable drug-using loser. And I don't care about his mental state as a vet. Fuck you, fuck your service. And he does have the crack lip. He does. Because he has whatever Bobby Brown has. Okay? And that shit is strong.
Not too much on instability and not too much on the Bobby Brown.
No, it's the dip in the lip, the permanent indentation from being burned by those drugs they use in a glass pipe.
The glass pipe, yeah.
And then, what is that sandwich you're eating on YouTube live streaming in the room?
It's called Pizza Bitch.
Wait, what? The room is actively being live streamed by Edmund. Because he's bored, I guess. Speaking of Louie, he's supposed to be monitoring.
Yo, Stilgar, you know what
Louie, you're not
I had an epiphany. And most humans.
That is a nice vest, though.
They kicked me. And it is a pretty nice vest. It wasn't even very expensive. There's nothing else that's even remotely intelligent. It just gets worse, which is the irony.
Here
This is called miracles in Quran.
Conceding on the fact or on the basis of charitability. What we want is for you to just be clear. You're agreeing. Not even conceding. You're agreeing. There's no disagreement.
Andrew is now a Muslim. He knocked his faith out of him today.
Solely, but alongside other facts, contributes to the stability of
He said, make me a mod and show me that you love me.
We went into details.
We don't need to.
But it's not semantics.
Do you get access to
Whether or not you answer that question yes or no is going to be directly contingent on how you understand what the word
Why don't
stability
you just
of
wait and clarify on your turn?
Okay.
That's
I thought
usually
you
how it
were
works. I know I wasn't. You interrupted.
Oh my bad.
If there's, you said you're saying now that it depends on what you mean. Whatever you meant by when you agreed. A moment ago we asked you, do you agree that the mountain plays a role into the stability of the earth? You said yes. So whatever you meant when you agreed is what we're saying that the verse is saying. The verse is not saying that the mountains. The verse is not saying that the mountains solely or primarily affects the stability of the earth. It's not saying how the mountains got there. It's not talking about the forming of the mountains. It's not talking about anything other than the fact that the mountains.
Right. I got you.
But
in that case, I think it's an
So this fact detached from the verse, you agree. Only when the verse is mentioned and we try to incorporate it into our the verse and our understanding of it is when you disagree. That's convenient for you, I think, as an atheist.
Well, I don't think I did anything of the sort. But first of all, I have
If you agree to the stability of Earth and the role that the mountains play, we should move on to the next verse.
We will move on. Just in the interest of fairness, though, he wants to respond.
yeah, so I have 2 points. First of all, obviously, the question of the source of the article is relevant. Like you say, like, well, we don't care that you don't think it.
Clown emoji.
Well,
Clown emoji.
The reason it was linked was that it was supposed to be a secular academic source, which it's not. So that was the first point.
It's referencing secular academic.
Bob.
No. It's referencing.
I can't believe this, bro.
Hey man, I know
We have to let him finish, though. We have to let him finish.
Because it references one secular source, and the other 4 references are all from a book called The Geological Concept of Mountains in the Quran. Like, come on.
Okay, so don't use that.
Second of all.
Let's let him finish.
No, I'm just saying that was my issue with the source. Second of all, I do think it's relevant to talk about what is meant with the stability of the Earth. Because I think, and the reason it's relevant is because if all you're saying is that we can interpret in some way, shape, or form that the mountains contribute to stability, I think that makes the claim kind of unimpressive.